Right, we're now in the L322. This is a 2002 4.4. Engine's running at the moment. Let's turn the fan down just in case you can hear that. Let's close the door as well. So yeah, here we go. Let's try see what this is. Range Rover. 2002-2005. Let's do a smart scan. Blimey, there's 30 ECUs it's going to have to sit there and sort of chat with. Lots of lights flashing on the dashboard as it connects to different ECUs, etc. Right, so on here we've got the engine system, the gearbox systems, ABS, airbag, instrumentation, air conditioning, air suspension, transfer box, immobilization, parking aid, memory seats, light check module, automatic headlights, etc. So there's, it does quite a few. So let's pop into that one, which is the engine. Let's have a quick look. Let's see if this is currently showing any fault codes in my engine ECU. That's because that camshaft position, timing over retarded bank 1 drive cycle C, is because I know I've got a bit of a rattly Vanos. Could be the Vanos control solenoid needs cleaning out, or it could be the Vanos seal needs to be resealed, but I do know that I do have a bit of a that's an old one. That's been I sorted that one out. That was when the spark plug blew out, etc. So yeah, so I do know that they are all there. Let's go back. Let's go clear. So let's go F2 to OK to clear. Erase operation is done. F1 for back. Let's go back into read fault codes. Let's see if that camshaft one has come back. No, the camshaft one hasn't come back, probably because we haven't driven yet. So, but it will do. It will do. So yeah, so it does all the blimey. There's 96 different data feeds that you can do. Let's go into air mass flow, so you can see it there racking around. You can see it going up as I rev it. We can also look at that as a waveform. You can see it just sort of coming in, and if I sort of rev it a bit, it goes up. So you can see that, yeah, it does that. Sorry, this is the first time I've used this on this car as well, so I'm going through it just as. Blimey, there's a there's a lot of cooling temperatures. Currently 75 degrees at the moment. There's a lot. I mean, there's 96 different parameters that you can read as live data on here, which is quite good. Let's yeah, as you can see, cam 1 really isn't responding like cam position 2 is. It's not responding too quickly. So I think it's the control solenoid needs cleaning out. So that's something I need to look at. So I mean, I'm not going to go through each of those. So there's loads of information there. Let's go into the gearbox. Let's have a look. See if there's no faults in my gearbox, thankfully, but we can view data. Engine speed, turbine speed, output speed, oil temperature. Let's have a look at the oil. Current gearbox oil temperature 71. So this will be great for doing oil changes, fluid changes on the gearbox when it has to be done at a certain temperature. You can monitor what the gearbox temperature is using this, which is great. System pressure, shift solenoid positions, etc. Torque converter clutch position, which is great for because everybody knows the early L322s had serious clutch problems, etc. So what you can do is you can see when the torque converter clutch is coming in and out, trying to modulate the slip. And obviously, if that starts becoming excessive, it wears it out. That's good. You can monitor it on here. Shift solenoid positions, throttle valve, gear selection, gear ratio, gearbox operation. Wow, there's quite a bit of information there. What else we've got? ABS. Let's go into that. Let's see. Yep, it's talking to it because I've got the lights coming up on the dashboard there. Let's see if I've got any faults in my ABS system. Temporary system deactivation. Everyone gets that. Nobody, don't know why. Just you do. View data. So you can check your wheel speed sensors. If you get an ABS fault and it keeps throwing up a wheel speed sensor fault, you can look at live data for all the different wheel sensors, pressure, ABS pressure, battery. I have to say, I'm quite impressed. Let's have a look at the brake switch, shall we? Let's see. Right, so it's saying brake released, pressed. As I'm pressing the brake pedal, that's coming up. That's brilliant. Obviously it shows you that the brake switch is working if you're getting sort of odd issues with that. It's great. So it's quite handy. Quite good for that sort of diagnostics. I mean, there's 32 outputs you can monitor. I'm quite impressed by that. So that's ABS. Now I've come out the ABS, the lights have gone off. I can go into. Dare I go into the Airbag Module and read any fault codes in there? You'll get that when you crank it over. The voltage will always drop down. It'll always log that fault. Seat occupancy sensor. That's an old one. That is an old one. So I can clear that. Clear fault code memory. F2 to OK. You're reading fault codes. Erase operation done. F1 for back. Go back into read faults. No faults found. So there we go. That seat occupancy sensor was an old one. View data. So there we go. I just have to say, I'm quite impressed. What else we got? Instrumentation. So this will read the instrument pack. Ignition sense incorrect. Oh, you'll always get that. An instrument pack check something incorrect. You'll always get that as well. They're always there. View data. Tell me where the handbrake position is. Check control button, whether that's pressed or not. Instrument cluster button, whether that's pressed or not. Steering column button, whether that's moving. Brake lining. So yeah, no, I am quite impressed. Air conditioning. Let's have a look. Any fault codes in my HVAC system? No. View data. Let's have a look. Refrigerant pressure. There's 59 outputs you can read on this. That's impressive. What's my current cabin temperature? Let's have a quick look inside the car. Currently sitting at 17 degrees. I like it cold. I have to admit, I do like it cold. But yeah, so I'm not going to go through all 59, but there's a lot of data that can be extracted out of there. Air suspension, which I know some people are talking about. Now it doesn't do calibration. I know it doesn't do calibration. This is just purely fault code. No fault code in my air suspension, thankfully. But let's view data. It really doesn't sort of. Oh no, sorry. Sorry. It's a submenu of a submenu. There's 43 different data points you can. So ride height mode, hold button, wake up, standard LED, up switch, front right voltage, front right height, motorway LED, down switch. So you can read all the sensor heights, reservoir pressure as well. Let's have a quick look at that, shall we? So I'm currently at 11.1 bar. Wonder what happens if I set my air suspension to go up. Is that going to drop? Compressor's just started, the car's raising, and reservoir pressure has dropped. And I can hear the pump running in the back there. It's actually a bit louder than I remember it being. Maybe that's because I haven't got the radio on. So yeah, so you can read your reservoir pressure. You can see that's going up. 9, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. So you can see that that's running up. So you can check to see whether your compressor's actually sort of working hard enough and raising the pressure, because a lot of people get pressure static while filling or something, or reservoir pressure static while filling. So using this live data, you can check to make sure that the compressor's running 100% and filling up the tank well enough, and you can see it's slowing down. I can hear the pump starting to struggle ever so slightly. As we're coming back up to its 11 bar, I think it is. Yeah, I can hear it sort of slowing down and struggling a little bit. 11.15, 11.2, 11.25. There we go, 11.25, 11.3. The compressor's shut off, and you can see that the pressure is now holding steady. I don't know if you can read that, but yeah, the pressure is now holding steady, which is great. So yeah, so you know, all the different sort of parameters you've got there, etc. Impressive. Height sensor offset, so it's telling you, so currently telling you what sort of height sensors they're at. I wonder what happens if I lower the vehicle down. Do they change? Is that live? No, it's just, I think that's just the calibration offsets, because the car's now gone back down to standard. But I mean, it's, you know, it's all there. It's, you know, it's transfer box. Let's have a look at my transfer box. Read fault codes, motor direction error. I think these are all legacy. Noise and actuator signal, battery under voltage you'll always get. That was when I took the ABS connection off. So let's see if we can clear those out. Clear. F2 OK to clear. Erase operation done. F1 is back. Let's go back into read fault code memory. No fault codes found. So they were all legacy faults in there. What data can we view in there? Again, 20 different outputs you can read. Vehicle speed, motor state, gear lever position, selected gear. It's impressive. I have to say, for the money, this ain't bad. The only trouble is it doesn't do any setting changes, doesn't do any programming or anything like that. It's purely just a fault code reader with live data output, which is, I have to say, I'm quite impressed at the moment. Mobilisation ECU. This will probably come up saying random code. Yeah, random code tolerance increased. You'll always get that. View data. And various different things. I'm quite impressed. Parking aid. Read fault code memory. No faults in my parking sensors, thankfully. View data. So yeah, so it gives you all the sensor outputs as well, which is great. Memory seat. I'm not going to go through. Blimey, you know, we're only halfway through, and we're doing the best part of 14 minutes at the moment. So I won't go through them all. Light check module. Read fault codes. There's probably a CAN message in there, as there always is. Check brake fluid fault. There's quite a few actually. Brake fluid fault, oil pressure fault, coolant temperature fault, air suspension inactive. These are all legacy faults by the looks of it. Definitely. Yeah, all sorts of different. Let's bang those out. Let's go clear. F2 is OK. Raising the faults. Done. F1 to back. Let's go read. No fault codes found. So they were, again, they were just legacy faults. View data. So it tells you what position. Let's go hazard light switch. F2 start. Not pressed. Let's press the hazard light. That's been pressed. Not pressed. Pressed. Not pressed. So it actually shows that it's, you know, the button is being registered by the LCM. let's have a, let's try right hand side light. Let's see what that does. Right hand side light is off. Let's turn the lights on. Now they're on. Now they're off. So you can actually check to make sure that the LCM is getting the signal from the switch and it's doing what it's supposed to do, and the LCM is getting a feedback from the lamp to tell it that it's actually on. So you can check any spurious fault warnings there. Automatic headlights. I don't have automatic headlights on this one. Washers and wipers, the rain sensor. Fault codes in the rain sensor. Sensor not coded, hardware failure of... Right, that's not right because that does actually work. So let's clear that out. F2 OK. Erasing fault codes, back. Let's go back into read fault codes. Sensor not coded. That's strange. It does work. Well, when you code the rain sensor, what it does a calibration of the thickness of the glass so it can sense the rain properly. But I know mine works properly, so it might have been replaced and no one actually coded it and calibrated it in. It works, but it might not actually be correctly calibrated. Let's go view data. Wiper switches off, intermittent speed 1, windscreen wipes, wiper park sense wiping, because it is actually raining. So if I was to put it into automatic mode, it will actually wipe the windscreen. So there we go. It's, you know, you can see it's. It's quite clever part. There we go. Oh, that's clever. Anyway, the steering lock module. I'm not going to play with that, just in case someone goes pear-shaped. Radio, video, satellite navigation, digital sound pro, the DSP system, multifunction steering wheel, body control. Let's have a look in there. Now there's probably loads of legacy faults in here, which is also what we found. There's 6 diver draw mirror heater open circuit. That I know about because I changed them to... no, they are actually heated, because one broke, and I don't think I changed the cleared the fault out. Driver mirrors out, that's defective, you always get those. Yeah. Interesting, let's go to clear those. F2 OK. Erasing fault codes, that's done. Back. Let's see what pops back up. No faults found, so as I say, legacy faults in there. View data, what can we do in there? Electric mirror. And so there's sub-menus, and then you can go in, and then it's saying there's 5. So for the driver's door mirror, there are 5 outputs that you can read. Yeah, which is it's crazy. Interior lights. Let's have a look at that. Interior light switch is released. Let's press it. Let's see what happens. Pressed. Pressed. That's clever. Anyway, sorry. I have to say, it's not bad. It's not bad. This gives you. So we've gone all the way back down. We skipped a few that not quite so interesting, like satellite navigation and the DSP and everything else. But I mean, that's not bad for the price. This isn't bad. Doesn't do air suspension calibration, but it will read faults, clear faults, let you read live data of height sensor, pressure filling, whether the pump is active or not. It's actually fairly comprehensive in that respect. It's just a code reader and live data. But I have to say, I am impressed. Exit, F2 to exit, yes. Back. We can go into voltage. We can check to make sure that the voltage, the battery is being charged, etc. So yeah, we can see there that the battery is being charged, etc. Yeah, I have to say, it's not bad. I have to say, I am quite impressed. Because I do get an oil service light. I wonder if I can change that in a Land Rover. That one. Let's have a quick look, shall we? So I do get an oil service light come up because it's never been. No, can't do it pre-2006. That's a shame, but still, blimey, I'm not going to complain about that. I do all my own servicing. I don't need a computer to tell me when I need to change the oil. So there we go. That's the iCarsoft. This is the latest version, the LR version 2. Which is their, I think, 4th generation of their product. I paid 136 quid for it. I've used it on the Freelander to check a fault on the Freelander, and it does 5 or 6 different modules in the Freelander: ABS, engine, management, ABS, body control functions, etc. And it was brilliant for that. I just thought I'd try it in the P38. So it's a bit limited in pre-99 P38s, and this is a 2002 L322, and there's oodles and oodles of information there. I have to say I'm quite impressed for its price. As a get out of jail free, just to read your fault codes, check them, and do some bit of live data for 136 quid. It's definitely worth it. The All Comms does more settings. You can do air suspension calibration, you can set some body control module functions, you can set some lighting control module functions, etc. So it's a little bit more advanced because you can do some setting changes, and it's a little bit more money, but for its price it's brilliant. But this, for 136 quid, for diagnostics and live data reading, etc. I have to say, I'm impressed. I am impressed. But I hope this helps you guys out when you're talking about diagnostics. Cheers.